Hey everyone, welcome to another installment of Around the League. Today we are continuing with college sports conferences with an FCS conference that you've probably heard of. This is the SWAC, the SWAC, the Southwest Athletic Conference, or excuse me, the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Now, this is a conference made up basically of every state along the southern Gulf Coast, including the outlier in Arkansas. But all 12 of these schools are going to be historically black colleges and universities. So all of their student bodies have historically been largely non-white students. But we're going to start in Texas and work our way all the way over to Florida with these 12 schools in the SWAC. We're going to start down in Texas. Two schools, both in kind of the general Houston area. The first one is in Houston proper. If we go to the southeast, we are looking for Texas Southern University. So if we zoom in on downtown Houston and go just to the south where we find the University of Houston, right next door is going to be Texas Southern University. And the Tigers are located there on the campus of TSU. Alexander Durley Stadium, home to their FCS football program there. But that's Texas Southern. The other school in the Houston general area is going to be up in Prairie View, and that is Prairie View A&M University. So we zoom out here, and we have to find Prairie View, Texas. So if we go up on the 290 northwest, zoom in here to Prairie View, makes up a large majority of the town there. There is PVAMU, Panther Stadium, located on the southwestern edge of campus there. But those are the Prairie View A&M Panthers that are located there in Prairie View, Texas. Let's go up to Arkansas now. One school up in Arkansas, and it's up in Pine Bluff. So Pine Bluff, roughly kind of the south center of the state, just to the southeast of Little Rock. And the University of Arkansas, Pine Bluff, the Golden Lions, going to be located just to the north of town off of Lake Saracen. UAPB, football stadium located on the northern half of campus there. Let's go down to Louisiana. Two schools in Louisiana. The first one we're going to touch on is in Grambling. So if we zoom in here on Louisiana, the town of Grambling is going to be located just to the east of Shreveport here. So if we zoom in on kind of this Ruston area, we should find Grambling, Louisiana. This is home to Grambling State University. Of course, probably best known of all things for their marching band, one of the best marching bands in the country. But Eddie G. Robinson Memorial Stadium, home there to the Grambling State Tigers. Then we go down to the state capital in Baton Rouge, and the school we're looking for in Baton Rouge is Southern University, another school with a fantastic marching band. A lot of these historically black colleges, specifically in this conference, are going to have fairly well-known marching bands. It's kind of a very strong marching band culture, apart from their athletics. But if we look here at Baton Rouge, of course, we have Louisiana State University just to the south there. If we zoom out just a little bit, Southern University is going to be located on the northern side of downtown, of course, here labeled Southern University and A&M College. The Southern Jaguars, located right there, their football team play at A.W. Mumford Stadium right there. The unique, very, very light baby blue and gold, almost like the Los Angeles Chargers, but a little duller of a blue color there. But that is Southern University. We then go over to Mississippi. Three schools in Mississippi. First one we're going to touch on is in Lorman. So if we zoom out here, show off my very, very minimal knowledge of the geography of the state of Mississippi. Lorman is going to be located just kind of to the south here of Vicksburg. So if we zoom in here, down toward the western side of the state here, we're going to zoom in on Alcorn. And technically the town's name is Lorman, but the geographical area of Alcorn is home to Alcorn State University. Jack Spinks Marino Kasem Stadium, located right there, that is home to the Alcorn State Braves, as their athletic teams are known. Alcorn State University, kind of middle of nowhere on the western side of Mississippi. Like I said, one of three schools in this conference in the state of Mississippi, the only one that is in the West Division. So we cross divisions, and let's next go over to Itta-Bena, Mississippi. So Itta-Bena, or Itta-Bena, Mississippi, is located just kind of to the north middle and slightly to the west, I guess, of just kind of the state center. But right in this area here west of Greenwood, we're going to find Itta Bena, home to Mississippi Valley State University. MVSU, home to the Delta Devils, one of my favorite mascots. I do say that a lot in a lot of these videos. There are some mascots that I really enjoy more than others, but Mississippi Valley State, the Delta Devils, I think one of the more unique mascots in Division I sports. But that is located right there in Itta Bena, Mississippi. The other school is in Jackson. So we zoom out here. We got to find the state capital in Jackson. Keep going here. Zoom in. Jackson to the south, where we had kind of started by Vicksburg, and this is home to Jackson State University. Of course, probably best known in the last couple years as the former home of Deion Sanders before he left the JSU campus to go to Colorado. He spent a couple seasons as the head coach of the JSU Tigers football team. But Jackson State, a very academic logo for their sports, but the JSU Tigers located there at Jackson State University in Jackson, Mississippi. Let's go over to Alabama then. The schools that we are looking for in Alabama, two of them. The first one is going to be up in Huntsville. So way to the north here. Zoom in on Huntsville. We're looking for the school known as Alabama A&M University. Of course, the town also home to the University of Alabama in Huntsville, but we are looking for the school to the northeast here. If we zoom in on the normal neighborhood, this is Alabama A&M University, home to the Alabama A&M Bulldogs. Lewis Cruz Stadium located right there on the western side of campus, but that is AAMU. We zoom out here. The other school is in the state capital of Montgomery. So if we go down to Montgomery and zoom in here, we are looking for the school known as Alabama State University. Alabama State located on the southeastern side of town here. And the Hornets play football at one of the larger stadiums in the conference. That is the ASU Stadium there, the black and gold of the Alabama State Hornets. Zoom out here, we are going over to Florida. Two schools left, both in Florida. First one we're going to touch on is up in the state capital of Tallahassee. It's not going to be Florida State University, but it's going to share the state capital alongside the school known as Florida A&M University. So Florida A&M University is going to be located just to the south of Florida State. If we zoom in here on this college town area, Florida A&M is just to the south of the highway. There's Bragg Memorial Stadium, very, very close to Doak Campbell, which is located over to the northwest of it. But Florida A&M, the Rattlers, the green and orange of FAMU, located there to the south of Tallahassee in the state capital. And last but not least, we're going over to Daytona Beach on the eastern side of the state here. Daytona Beach, home to Bethune-Cookman University. BCU, the Wildcats. One of the lesser known schools in this conference probably. They do occasionally show up in things like the National Basketball Tournament, but located just kind of to the west of downtown Daytona Beach. That is the fairly small campus of BCU, Bethune-Cookman University. So those are all 12 schools that make up the SWAC, the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Let me know what you thought of this video in the comments section below. If there are other conferences that we haven't covered that you maybe want to see on the channel, let me know in the comments section below. Otherwise, check out the folder for more Around the League content, and we'll hope to see you back on the channel very, very soon.